And we're back once again, only on its Last Call. Last Call at the Alcohol, only on the LastCallPodcast.com. And joining me here, the NCAAs are a little bit behind us, but these two gentlemen here we're happy to have on the show. Arizona State powerhouse program over in the West Coast. And these two men are the newest All-Americans for the Arizona State Sun Devils. I give you, it is 165-pound All-American Nicco Ruiz and the heavyweight himself, the painter All-American, I give you David Szuba. So, Jim, we'll start off here with, has it hit you yet? We'll start with you, Nicco, and then you, David. That you guys are All-Americans.
Yeah. It's kind of hit me. I don't think for sure exactly. I mean, today it's been a little more. It's been hitting me. It took a little bit just because, like, even after I realized I was the All-American after the Lehigh match, I just like, oh wait, I have another match. So I have to get ready and get into it. But getting all the texts from family, friends, and just everyone around me, it's really showed me like, oh dang, like I'm All-American. I did it. Like this is fun, and it shows me like I'm on the right path. And as a kid, like thinking back as a kid, I'm like, damn, this is where I wanted to be. This is great.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually really hit me yet too much. I do think Nico's right. It feels weird when everyone's texting you like congratulations, and it doesn't feel as crazy as like you thought it would. Like I thought it'd be feeling a lot different, but I mean it's great, but it's kind of just like something you did, and it's kind of, I mean, it's a really great feeling. It feels cool, but like Nicco just said, you get to celebrate for 2 minutes, and then you're like, you got to get hydrated, you got to go wrestle again. So. It's just it's a good feeling. I definitely feel relieved being done. I don't know what Nicco feels like. He's still got more years to All-American, so I like to. I finished my career as an All-American, won my last match, so I'm done. It's a little bit better, more relieved than anything. So,
well, let's talk about you first, for David. I watched your final match. It was you versus Christian Carroll, and you seemed to want that match more. You were pushing. You were. Driving him backwards. He was either looking for a throw or looking just to sort of survive. How much of that fight, when you look back, how much of that match for you was just about, I want it more. I want to go out on a win. I want to get my 100th career NCAA wrestling win.
Yeah, it was. I don't think I got 100. I will say that. I think I was close.
100. I counted you. We came in with 68 wins this past season. Then you finished with 27-11 going into the tournament. You won 5. So, yes, you now have 11. You now have 100 right on the dot, even.
Total wins, I would say yes. I definitely have 100. Because I don't know if that probably counts my redshirt year as well. So, if you don't count my redshirt year, I think I was a little bit short. But my redshirt year, I made it. But I think I knew the guy was banged up, and in wrestling is a sport where if you see blood in the water, you can't go out there and feel bad for the guy. If he was moaning and groaning, I knew he was in pain, and you don't sit there and like be nice to him. You kind of got to go out there and make him quit, and that's kind of what a disqualification is you make the guy quit. So, and I knew I was going to go out on a win no matter what it took, and it was just a little bit easier because he was banged up, and wrestling's ruthless. So.
For you, Nicco, it was a bit different. I wanted to take you to your match against Joey Blaze. I know that he'd beaten you earlier in the year, technically last year.
Yeah.
When you beat him to get into, the third place match, 2-1, like for you, how much of that was like, finally, I got rid of it. You check it off, you're in the third, fourth place, and now you beat somebody that was probably on your mind. Like, I really want to get back at this guy. Can't stand losing.
Yeah, no, it was a great feeling, especially just I knew like the last time we wrestled was at Cliff Keene's in the finals. He got one takedown. And that was really the only big score in that match, and just and when he chose bottom, I was confident in myself that I was gonna be able to ride him out, and I just being able to get that match back just feels really great. I mean, he also I forgot about this until my dad told me about it on Monday. He was like, "Did you forget that he beat me at Super 32 my senior year in the finals too?" And it's like, dang, I really got that one back from all the way back then too, and it feels good. It was great.
We'll go back to the tournament in a second. So I'll start with you, Nicco, and then you, David. So, what made you go to Arizona State in the first place? We got for you, it's California. So, and you were a highly touted guy. You had your offer of a lot of places. Why was Arizona State for you? Like, this is where I want to go for my wrestling career.
So, leading up to it, I already knew a lot of the guys on the team. Even before that, even my freshman year, my sophomore year, even like way before, even in eighth grade, they have a camp out here, and my whole team would go out here. And so I knew all the guys on the team already. I was really good. I would consider them already my friends. And when I talked to the coach and I talked to Frank and Zeke, Pritz, and Thompson, it was just I felt like at home, and I knew like if anytime I got like homesick or if I needed anything, my parents were an hour flight maybe, and like a 5 hour drive. It's and they my family almost my family my mom and dad came up almost every duel this year. They brought my one of the duels. They brought my little nephew and niece, and it was just being able to have that and just that support from my family is what I feel like really helped me choose ASU.
For you, David, you have a different path. You are happily married. You have 2 kids. You are a Jersey boy, as they say, who went to Rider. Then all of a sudden, you transferred your final year to Arizona State. I know your younger brother's on the program, but how much of that was for you as a culture shock where you go from Jersey, which is cold as hell, to Arizona State, which is hot as friggin' hell?
Yeah, it was definitely a shock getting there in the summer in June. I think I arrived like June 12th, and I was like, "What did I just do?" When I got in the my apartment, it was like 89 degrees, and I was like, "This is horrible." But I knew it was going to be worth it. Everyone kept telling me the summers are the only bad part about Arizona. They didn't tell me that everyone sucks at driving, which probably would have changed my mind. But
Yeah,
no, it
New
was.
Jersey also in the Northeast, so it's
I tell
easy.
you what, Arizona drivers, they make New Jersey drivers look like kings and queens. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're so bad. But no, so Arizona State, man, it was Thompson, dude. Seeing Thompson and the success Colton Schultz had, and even in years where he took second, fourth, seventh, I mean, you can't deny a 5-time All-American. So, and that was just best position for me to win. The culture seemed like it was up on the rise and changing a little bit. So it was I was happy to come in and make a big impact, and just Ben coming out too, them seeing interest in Ben, not just me, was another big part of it.
How big was that having been there? Because I'm guessing the wife and the kids are still in Jersey, or are they out in Arizona as well? Or?
No, they were in Arizona. Kaylee moved out, I think June 20th. So I was there for a few weeks before. But Kaylee's been there the whole time, supporting me the whole time. But having been there too I mean, it's your brother. You know at least one guy. So maybe if this team didn't like me or I didn't like the team, I'd at least know Ben. I had Ben. So, but everyone on the team came in with. They all love me and I love them. So it's been a really great family atmosphere. So.
Both you guys come from wrestling families. Nicco, your dad coached. David, your brother. You and your brother are both wrestlers. We'll start with you, David, and go to Nicco. Why is wrestling just that? Why do you guys love it? Because it's a brutal sport, and yet it seems to be part of the family businesses. Why do you love this sport, which nobody plays? You just wrestle, as they say.
Yeah, I would say that's a good question, man. But I think the reason why I love it so much is because you can't make excuses in this sport. So if you want to be the best wrestler doesn't make an excuse every single day. He fights every day. So if you have a victim mindset or you want to make excuses of why you lost, you're never going to succeed. But if you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I need to get better at A, B, and C, and you work on that and fight every day and you keep showing up every day, then you're going to have the results that you want. Or maybe you won't. And that's why it's the best sport, because this guy might be on today and you might have an off match when it matters. But that's why people know that's why it's the hardest sport. That's why you have to fight. because it doesn't matter how much every guy I could have beat this weekend could have worked harder than me in everything. But I was just I was on that day. You know what I mean? So and people know that about the sport, and that's why it's the hardest sport, and that's why it takes you into life and teaches you things that nothing else teaches you. So
Yeah, going off that, I was just your question brought me back to my childhood. What my dad does now, he helps out with my nephew, and every now and then he'll tell my nephew, "Who works harder than you? Who works harder than you?" And my little nephew would go, "No one, no one." And it just like in my head, like growing up, my dad, like it doesn't matter. It was before I even wrestled. I started wrestling. I was doing some type of sport. I was doing football, basketball, baseball, something, and like I would lose, our team will lose, and I'll just like, oh, why are we losing? Why I want to win, blah blah blah. And then we got into wrestling, and it came down to, oh, what do I want to do to get better? This is for me. I can't put any excuses on anybody else. I'm working hard, so I will be successful. This sport is for me, and there is a great team aspect to it, but I just love the personal aspect that really comes with wrestling, and it's always put in my mind like you have to be the best no matter what, and I just think that mindset, not even just in wrestling, in other aspects in the world, is a great one.
Each of you have challenges in your division. For you, Nicco, it's keeping the weight down. And I know there's probably days where you get cravings for a certain food. Can't have it. You got to train. Hey, you want to have maybe a couple beers. Can't have it. You got to train. Hey, I got to watch my water weight. Got to keep muscle on, but still lose weight. Mm-hmm. Mentally, how do you handle that? Where you're giving up stuff. Most of us would go, oh wait a minute, you can't have a slice. You can't have a slice. Can't have a slice of pizza. What's going on? And you're like, no, I'm training. So how did you deal with it? Not let it just affect you, because that affects weaker wrestlers.
Honestly, it's a lot better than now than it was in high school. I mean, having in high school, I did some bad weight cuts where it's just like I just did everything terrible. It was like I did the last second, I did this, but like coming into ASU, it's like we have a nutritionist, we have all these people there to help you. They're like, oh, you eat this, then now drink this amount of water, and we have a set plan for you have to be a certain amount of weight on Monday, and you have to be hydrated. So it's like keeping yourself accountable, and if we don't, we have to lose the weight. But it's like at the same time, I got a little used to it a little more, where I don't have to completely starve myself. I just find other outlets. I mean, like for soda, I don't drink soda that often, and now I drink sparkling waters. So it's that little outlet's like, ooh, a nice little treat. Like, oh, because it has a little more flavor. It's sparkling, but it's just like, oh, it doesn't have the sugar. It doesn't have all these other additives in it. And just finding those little outlets where they're still healthy, but they're good. I think that's my best thing. Like just finding little outlets.
For you, David, heavyweight is always a smorgasbord. You have some guys who are built like tanks, some guys who are a lot like Isaac Trimble, these tall, leaner guys. You're always trying to find that perfect size for you. How did you and the team work on nutrition for you in terms of like, all right, we want you to come at this certain weight, this way. You're not too big, you're not too thin, and you're able to handle anybody they throw to you, whether it's somebody who's built like a tank or somebody that's somebody who's like almost an NFL defensive end.
I would say when I came in, I was the biggest I was 270, and I weighed in. I think my last one in was 260 flat, so 18 pounds over the whole year. It was just a matter of kind of how my style, finding out my style, with Thompson, and I think he was like, "You can go down, you can stay up. What do you feel comfortable at?" So I felt really great at 260 to 265. And I felt fast. I felt big enough to smash guys when I sprawled, but still, like, I wouldn't get too tired when my leg was in the air, because when I wrestled Younger Bastida the second time, not at Cliff Keen, he had my leg in the air for pretty much the whole first period, and I got so tired. And then but I was also 8 pounds more. I think I weighed in at like 268. that way in, and then I kind of went down a little bit, worked on some things, and eating really clean and just losing fat and keeping the muscle, and just trying to find where I was comfortable at in my wrestling style, what I wanted to do, and it worked out well. So
one of the biggest challenges I found in wrestling is you had to have this mindset of, all right, you won your last match, that's great. You still got to worry about the next one. Oh, you lost your last match? Well, that sucks, but you still got to worry about the next one. Take me to both of your first losses. We'll start with you, David, then go with you, Nicco. For you, it was you took on Connor Doucette. You lose 4-1. It's a tough one. I mean, how tough has it been going, all right, I can't dwell on this, even though in your mind you're thinking, I should have done this, should have done that. I had his takedown. This could have happened. And I'm in the quarters. How tough is that for you going, all right, just going to push it on my mind and, hey, I got to now go wrestlebacks and get ready for all this?
it was hard, but I think it was more hard because my pride was hurt. Like I knew I couldn't be a national champion after I lost that match. And I was like, that really sucks. But what can I take from that match that was good? I had some really great wrestling positions, and I had one mistake where I gave up a takedown. I went rushing a little too early, so Thompson and I just sat down and were like, hey, this is what you did wrong. This is what you did right. Let's bring it into the next match, and you're going to be an All-American one match at a time. This is already gone. No one's going to remember that. And he's like, no one cares. You don't care if you lose, if you become an All-American. Who cares if you lose once? You go out there and get on that podium. So that bringing that mindset into every match and not quitting, because as soon as you lose in the NCAAs, there's something about your mind, and it's almost like you're content. You get to fight being content, going 1-2, 0-2. At least my mind, because it's like, oh, I have a way out now. I've already lost once. I can lose again. Keep it close and make it look real. But you don't give into those thoughts because they're not good thoughts. So that was something I battled with a little bit. But then I was like, I'm not going to give up, because I knew it was my final hoorah. So even the way I tied my shoes, that where I'd have to really search for the tape, which I tell Nicco all the time. There's ways you can do it where you can take the tape off and be done. But I made it so I would have had to really fight for taking those shoes off. So.
Nicco, for you, it's Cesar Alvan, who, oh, by the way, yeah, he's a 12 seed who's also a Pan Am gold, Olympic Pan Am medalist, wrestled the world championships, and you just lost him 4-2. And then you got to come back and you look and go, okay, crap, I've got now a hell's wrestlebacks where I got 7 seeders in there, the second seed I got to face here. I got Hepner, VAC. Like, for you, how did you do it where it's like, okay, I can't dwell on this loss. I got now just one after the other killers in the wrestlebacks.
Yeah, I mean, it sucked. After that loss, I did like low down, but what helped a lot was that break. That break that we had, it really made me be able to sit down and relax and think this isn't it for me. I'm gonna be on that podium. I want to be there. I mean, it kind of one thing that clicked in my mind was because of who was with us, Kyler Larkin, his videos, and there's one clip he has, and it's like he's talking about the next best thing. That's really clicked in my mind, and it's like, well, you lost now. Now, what are you gonna do next? How can you win? How can you do better? And how can you go on? And that's really like what clicked in my mind then. Like, okay, so we lost, can't be national champ, but how far up can I go? And then also, not to mention Zeke. Zeke came in. Zeke was like, all right, guys, we lost, but now we got to climb the podium. You got to get there and just take the loss, learn from it, but just climb the podium.
I gotta ask you guys, because the best every fighter, every MMA boxer I talk to, it's always the best thing is after they win or lose. It's no matter what, we can now eat. So we'll start with you, Nicco. I'm guessing it's like all of a sudden, like, okay, deep dish cheese pizza. No, fried chicken. No, tortillas with extra nachos and maybe a quesadilla. Like, what was your meal where you're like, God damn it, I can now eat. I don't have to worry about weight anymore. Give me the plate and just feed me.
I haven't had it yet. What I'm thinking of is I haven't had it yet, but I've been wanting it for so long, and it's just like but it's a beef Wellington. I've been wanting to have it so long. We're planning to make it. Me and my girl are planning to make it either tonight or tomorrow night, and I'm just so excited for that. I've been waiting for that just so long.
David, what about you? Because now all of a sudden you don't have to worry about, hey, I don't have to get that six pack anymore. I can maybe have a couple more beers. I can have some shots. David, I'd really like maybe, dare I say, like a big porterhouse steak with extra.
I think honestly, mine's pizza, man. We're back in New Jersey. We drove home from Cleveland on a Sunday night, and mine's real pizza. The pizza in Arizona sucks. The water sucks. The bread sucks, but New Jersey pizza is real great. So I'm looking forward to that. I think tomorrow night we're getting some. So
David, what's your future now? I mean, we now are in a world where we have real American freestyle wrestling. There's MMA. There's WWE. Are any of those an option, or are you just now done? You're like, all right, I'm done with the wrestling. My next chapter is being a father, being a husband, being a businessman.
I believe competing is done. I would love to be a high school coach, even a coach at the Division I level. I've reached out to a few coaches who I would like to be a part of because my plan is to move to Tennessee, and Chattanooga's there. I reached out to their coach yesterday. I've been talking to them, trying to work out something where I can get in there and wrestle with them and get those guys better. 'Cause I still want to be around the sport. Just because I'm done competing doesn't mean I can't help kids or change their lives, give them the right directions, and then just get a good job, and then have more babies in the Lord, and being a good father, a good husband, and having a bunch of kids who are going to love wrestling, hopefully. So,
Don't forget your soap, David.
oh, and my soap too. Don't forget my soap. Yeah, the Plain and Pure. I had a lot of. I actually, once we move from Arizona to Tennessee, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get a warehouse or some kind of functioning storage unit where I can make soap, sell soap out of there. I'm really gonna try that because, I mean, I sold to almost every team at NCAA. Sold 200 bars, and I was running around with a briefcase. So, and I sold to Penn State. Everyone was like, "Dude, when you do this, like, please let us know." So, I had Josh Barr bought some. Isaac Trumbull bought some before his national final. He won. So, and it was pretty cool, So I'm Plain and Pure is what it's called, and I'm going to take that really serious once we get out there in May, and then try to be like the defense soap to these wrestling teams, except way better ingredients and significantly lower in price. So,
Wow. Nicco, for you, it's a bit different. You're coming back to school, and I'm guessing afterwards, I'm guessing after the Alvan matches, you went, okay, this is what maybe Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu I can add in here. Or, hey, maybe I can now understand what goes on, where trips and everything. Because you took on a lot of different guys in the event. Every fight seems you learned. What's your future going forward? I mean, because I'm guessing you're all of a sudden going, all right, hey, spring break, maybe I should do Olympic team trials, or maybe I should do more tournaments, or maybe do more workout camps. Like, what is your future going forward with wrestling, Nicco?
For right now, this summer we're looking into the U.S. Open, and then we're be looking at U23s, of course, World Team Trials. But other than that, just this summer, just do some camps, get some money. But yeah, just training a lot, and just getting better. I mean, just picketing everything I needed to just fix. Learned a lot this season, especially at the NCAA's. It's just those small things I just need to fix, and I'll be good.
So before we let you go, so both you guys, like, what was besides the NCAA championships? Like, what was the best thing about this year for you guys in terms of what you accomplished? We'll start with you, Nicco, then go with you, David.
When it comes to accomplishments, I would just say like probably Cliff Keen. I mean, making it to the finals was amazing, but outside of a compliment like medals and like things like that, I would say the team like vibe this year. I felt like all the guys were really close, and it just felt really. I mean, there's times in the trips we were playing board games, and it was just like I felt really close to the team, and we were just having a lot of fun. Like all the trips were a lot more fun, and just I loved everyone. It was just amazing.
I would say Competition-wise, I think that was when I first the Lehigh match was big. That was kind of when I went on a roll. Senior night, and I was able to take out Nathan Taylor, who's a great wrestler, a good friend of mine too, and got to do it in front of my dad, my wife and kids, sister, brother, and it was on senior night. And that's when I knew I was like, I'm going to be an All-American this year. I can hang with anybody. So, and then for the team, same thing as Nicco, man. Our team, we had so much fun everywhere. Like, I probably did too much messing around with Coach Zeke, but it was just so funny all the time. And it was just, I mean, I really hope this culture stays with this team because I don't think there's a team that has more fun than us. My old team, Ryder, did have a lot of fun too, so I got to bring that kind of energy to Arizona State. And I think those would be our top. Ryder and Arizona definitely have the two funnest teams, that's for sure.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are proud to have him on the show. I give you the latest All-American wrestlers from the Arizona State Sun Devils wrestling team. I give you, it is Nicco Ruiz, and I give you David Szuba. So before I let you guys go, where can fans check you out at? Where's the Twitter, Instagram? There's probably YouTube channels, the website. Where can fans hit you guys up at?
For me, it'll just be Instagram. It'll be Nicco Ruiz, Nicco, and then .Ruiz.
Yeah, mine would be David Szuba, and then our follow our soap account, playingpure.com. We're playing in pure.
David Szuba, Nicco Ruiz, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, always honor, pleasure to have you on the show. We come back. We got a lot more going on here. Only on its last call. Last call at the alcohol. Only on the lastcallpodcast.com.